Hey there, LaPrey. How's it going over there?
Hey there, Emily. All is well. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much
Yeah,
for joining me. I know
yeah,
we're pretty excited to talk about all things freelance. And for anyone that hasn't seen our first video where we really unpacked the freelance landscape, today, we spoke more broadly, but today we're going to speak a little more specifically about a super cool concept that We Are Rosie covers with
yeah.
a lovely visual, and it's called the layer cake workforce. So if that works for you, that's where we should talk today.
I agree. Let's do it.
Okay, great. So here we go. Again, we did talk not too long ago in another video about what freelance looks like. And there are so many professionals out there that are looking for flexibility and might not think that it's a method of work that could work for them. But I think as we come across just how complex freelance can be, this visual really brings it home. And I think if we just talk through this, anybody could start to see that freelance is not as simple as firing up a laptop and being a writer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah. Yeah. So I wish I could take credit for the actual graphic, but we have an awesome marketing team that put this together to help visualize the points that this visual makes. And who doesn't love cake, right? So
Right. I love metaphors too.
yeah, so taking cake, the delicious final product that we all love and take our time to devour and often go back for seconds. The layered cake workforce example that you see here really provides a great visual to the way that we see the workforce and how We Are Rosie fits into that cake, if you will. If you look at the graphic, starting from the very bottom, you have the full-time employees that are the core of the company. I think
Mhm.
that's a no-brainer in regards to that foundational base to make sure everything is happening as it's supposed to happen. And then from there, we get into more flexible opportunities. So looking at the flex, if we go to the frosting side, and then we'll work our way to actually, let's go with the layer. So we
Okay.
have employees and we go to the flexi team. So
Hmm.
you see there that those teams are just a bunch of Rosies who work together to make magic, if you will, on all kinds of projects like campaign launches. There are new initiatives in place of or alongside agency partnerships. This is really just a team that we have that can work on, campaign and deliverables for those specifically based projects. And then if you take a look at that next layer, we go into the in-house, so what we're calling the in-house flexies. And this is a team of Rosie's that are really embedded into your organization, right? So when we talk about the layers, these are supporting layers. So if the team situation doesn't fit within your needs, then we have this in-house group that can be really a Rosie built team that's embedded into your own organization. So we are looking to come in and learn those best practices from you, working alongside your staff, and really just trying to bring innovation and efficiency that's unmatched by agencies. I think we have a really good stronghold on that type of talent. And then
Yeah.
if to the next layer, and I'm sorry, I'm just going with
No,
it.
no, this is great. In fact, the only thing I would say with in-house flexis, I think, again, taking the step back and learning all the ways that freelance can work for
Yeah,
people to say, well, I understand being an outside contractor, but the idea of working within an organization, but you happen to be a contractor.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
yeah, so again, I love, flexi talent, but to think that yes, naturally you think outside external with freelance, but
yeah,
the in-house piece, talk about merging right in and literally being a member of the team. You're simply a contract employee there.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar to the in-house piece, the frosting layer, there's that flexi talent. And from here, we have anywhere from one Rosie to over 1,000 that are ready to really get in there and help. These are individual Rosies with specific skill sets that are ready to kind of level up, if you will, your core team strengths, providing a burst of capacity or just
Hmm.
backfill an open role. So here we are kind of being the missing link to make sure that the puzzle is complete, that things can flow smoothly without missing a beat. And
Yeah.
again, the bulk of the Rosies that we work with tend to fit into one of those categories, obviously within the talent side or the in-house side. But then, of course, there's the execs. These are what we're calling our visionaries. The growth accelerators and the change agents within that world. And we really work closely with our execs because these are the individuals that have that consulting, leadership, and change management skill sets. We see these individuals as those change agents in the C-suite. And other executive level candidates with experiences that will help make an organization ready for the next level. So again,
Mhm.
covering the entire gamut here. The layer cake again is just a visual to better understand how we have different types of talent that can fill pretty much any role that exists. So hope that makes sense without me rambling too much.
No, I totally love, again, seeing it all, how it works together. Again, I love a metaphor. So there's been metaphors with the foundational rocks or boulders are your full-time employees, the core of a company. But then outside agencies can help be additional smaller rocks. And then flex talent can become the sand that fills in the cracks. And again, as we go into market volatility, that can be really attractive to the businesses, of course, to be able to bring folks in on a contract basis with specific skill sets. Now, if I use that as a segue for this outer layer here of the red frosting. So at Hey There, I mean, I put us in that category of flexi talent, individual Rosies with specific skill sets. So again, we take people that want a social media marketing specialty. We upskill them and bring them a micro training so that way they can really have that specific skill set and hone right in on the various job descriptions that are looking for people with social media in particular. So if that, yeah, like I said, I love how the cake all brings it together. But that's at least where I identify our community fitting.
Yeah, and I'd love to add to that as well, just to speak to the birth of this relationship and the fact that we recognize that we do have Rosies that are looking for the upskilling opportunities that you all provide, and what better way to get them what they need than to connect with an expert like yourself and your team. And again, I think it's a perfect collaboration to bring it all together from where we have what's listed here, and then obviously we can't do everything, we can't be everything to everyone. So we want to bring in experts like yourselves to be able to offer that additional support to make sure we're giving our Roses all that we can. We want to look at obviously the work, but obviously what, in addition to that, what can we do outside of the work to enhance and support them and be their advocate throughout their entire career and their journey.
Thank you, LaPre. Yes, it's really exciting to see, again, all the clients and the opportunities that We Are Rosie is bringing together to freelance professionals. And if our specific niche of social media skill sets is something that helps Rosies find even more opportunity that really, triggers their interest, and we're happy to do so. So thanks for the teamwork there. But more importantly, thanks for going through this layer cake visual. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, my pleasure, my pleasure. And again, this is something that again our marketing team put together, but it still speaks to the crux of who we are and what we do. So hopefully that visual helped.
We love it. Well, if anyone has any questions about the layer cake workforce, leave a comment, reach out to us. But thanks again for explaining the LaPre. We'll be back again.
My pleasure. See you soon, Emily.